Hello, this is Dr. James, and today we're going to talk about changing the brakes on your Honda Insight. Now, actually, I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I'm having significantly much more problems than any things they ran into, so I figured I'd try taping this. So, anyway, today we might use the blue wrench to help us out. That's the torch. Whoever worked on my car last really put the bolts on tight. I'm afraid they're going to break. And so let's talk about it. Just a few precautions when you're working on a car. You know, I'm using my tire changing jack, and I don't have a lot of tools here. I stuck the tire under the support arm just in case the car falls, because this is a real dangerous situation. And I got an old log. It's hopefully not rotted, and stick all these things under the car just in case it does happen to fall, because that would be a major disaster. Okay, and so my problem is that the next step, I got the tire off, and that was a chore, and this bolt down here is the next bolt I have to take out, and I got my little ratchet. I started ratcheting it. I couldn't move it at all. I stuck my hydraulic jack under it, and it was lifting up the whole car. So I stuck some WD-40 on it, and if that doesn't work, we might try the blue wrench, see if that helps out. So let's get things all situated here. Okay, here we go. We got our big wrench here on the bolt that's a problem down here, and I got it sitting on top of my 2.5 ton hydraulic jack. And I put some WD-40 on this thing a little bit ago. Let's try putting a little extra pressure on this thing. Let's see if we can persuade it. Oh God, I'm not liking this at all. It's not budging. So let's get out our blue torch here. You don't want to get the rubber too hot. That could be a problem. There's some rubber things on there. Let's try heating up the back just a little bit. See if we can persuade it. That's still not going. There's a rubber thing on the front. I don't want to burn that up. Really don't want to break my wrench either. Doesn't seem like it is moving. Okay. Let's try a new strategy maybe. Okay. Well, I tried tapping on it a little bit, reset the ratchet. Probably need a breaker bar, but I don't have one. So, we'll just keep on trying. Sometimes this stuff here, WD-40, that can help. Let's try spraying it in here. See if that can lubricate it up at all. Try giving it a little extra torque. Tapping on it. tried to find a box end, but of course I don't have any. Force on this side, but no counter torque. So, just lifting up the car. I think it turned a little bit. Not sure if that's a good thing or if it's slipping off. Let's loosen her up and see if we've messed up the wrench. Oh God. Looks like it's stuck on there now. I have to knock it off with a hammer probably. Okay, after consulting the all-knowing internet again, one of their suggestions was, I don't know if that's in focus, okay, using a 6-sided socket. I did have a 12-sided one on there, and they are saying that the 12-sided ones are more likely to slip and strip the screw, the head of the nut. And so we will stick this guy back on here. And another thing they suggested was just trying to rock this thing back and forth. And so I couldn't find any. You get a little bit of extra torque if you let me check the lens. Okay, so you get a little bit extra torque if you put a pipe over the wrench, and they recommended kind of rocking the thing forward and backwards. So try to turn it one way a little bit, and then of course you have to flip the direction of the ratchet to try to torque it the other way. Just try to torque it back and forth until hopefully the bolt breaks loose internally. So, well, I feel it moving a little bit. So maybe we'll be able to work this stupid thing loose if we do this enough times. Oh my God. I think it's starting to move a little bit. Okay, anyway, so I'll work on this and get back to you if it works. Okay, it looks like I'm making progress. I don't know if you can see, but there's a... let's try rocking it the other way. There is a nut on the back side of this thing. It looks like that nut is starting to turn when I'm rocking this thing back and forth. See that? Starting to, as I rock it back and forth, that nut is turning, so I probably need to stick some kind of wrench on that to hold that in place. So I have a crescent wrench. I prefer to get something better, but we'll just try a crescent wrench for now. Okay, and we'll try rocking this back and forth a little bit and see if that helps. Maybe I'll do them in counter position. Do one up and the other one down. And try twisting it back the other way. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can spin this guy in the back. This front one is still having a lot of problems, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I guess we still gotta just take the top bolt out. This other one is inconsequential yet. It's just coming along for the ride. Let's try spraying some more our magic WD-40 inside of there. See if we can make things better with that. Okay, so I've been working this thing back and forth for what seems like quite a bit of time, and it looks like it's making progress, because now I can turn it, watch, that far, and that's a much bigger swing than I had before. Watch again. Here we go. Oh, look at that. So that's about, what, 5 or 6 degrees we can turn the wrench. Maybe 10 degrees. That's about 10 degrees. Just another order of magnitude more, and we'll have that thing spinning all the way around. Look at that. Oh, I think I made a little bit more progress that time. Yeah, we'll spray some more of the magic WD-40 in there, because that's a lot cheaper than hiring a mechanic. And we'll keep on working this back and forth. Hopefully we'll get this stupid bolt off sometime. Okay. There we go. And it's starting to turn quite a bit, actually. Okay. Okay. So I have been working this thing back and forth, and now I can ratchet it several times in either direction. The bolt is free enough now. I'll ratchet it several times tighter, then we can ratchet it several turns looser. Now we can keep on going, maybe. Look at that. Maybe we won't have to back it up again this time. It looks like it may come out. Let's take off our torque amplifier. And the bolt still coming loose. Let's see, can you see that okay? Okay. And oh, this is good news. Oh my gosh. I didn't think I ever get that bolt off. So it looks like WD-40, working it back and forth forever, did the trick. Okay. Ouch. Definitely want to clean that up before we stick that back in, because this is unacceptable. What a pain. Okay. So there we go. Looks like the bolt is going to finally come out. It's spinning freely. Heck, who knows, maybe it's just loose in there. I can... Nope. Okay, so I was having a little problems pulling this bolt out, so I was able to get some vice grips and kind of grab onto it, then twist it around, and I finally got this bolt out. It's actually kind of a short bolt. It's only that long. I thought it went through all that stuff. Appears it doesn't. I'm gonna probably try to clean up the threads a little bit, and of course one of the videos. Let's take a look here. All you have to do is undo the bottom bolt. You can grab these calipers and swing them up, and maybe get the rotor off and the brake pads. Actually, I don't know. Maybe this is in the way. Anyway, take a look a little bit more at this thing. So, looks like one of the brake pads is still on there, and the other one's stuck up inside. Okay. So on to the next step. Okay, so I guess we'll try to take the brake pads off now. These little clippy things. We try to pop these up maybe a little bit with the screwdriver. Push this thing down. Come on. Yeah, this thing does not want to come off very easily. Kind of pry it down. Ouch. Yeah, why does it always look so easy on YouTube? There we go. Okay. I guess this won't come off. Maybe? Okay, there we go. Got one off. And this one's got the little clippy things on the back. And still got a little bit of brake pad on there. And come around the back. The other one's kind of stuck on the other side. It came off the cylinder. It's stuck onto the back of the brake pad here. So we can probably want to be careful not to damage the rotor. Maybe we can pry it out a little bit. Some clips. Oh, come on. Oh my God. I think we could pry it out a little bit. Wow, this thing is really... Try to work it on the top and the bottom. Oh my God. This thing is so... And there, it's so tight. I'm trying to pry it out a little bit. I don't think there's clips. Is there clips? Oh, there's clips that have to be undone. I don't know. Oh my God, these things. Okay, well, I guess we'll try working with this a little bit more. Pry this thing out, maybe. What a pain. Kind of clip thing here. Pull on that. Wow, these things do not like to come out very easy, do they? Okay, I don't know if you can see in there, but there's like a little loopy thing on the new brake pad. It kind of looks like that. And I'm able to, see, here's a new brake pad here, a little loopy thing on the side. I'm able to kind of pry that in the back with my screwdriver. Well, there's some clip things up in the front. I've tried to release them, but they don't seem to be doing too much. And then I can get back under here and I can pry it back the other way, and by wiggling it at the top and the bottom, trying to be careful not to damage the rotor, of course, with my screwdriver. I'm kind of, looks like I'm working this thing out here, slowly but surely. Everything is a pain working on these things, though. Okay, and we go stick it through that loop again and Kind of wiggle the thing out the back a little bit more. And be careful not to break that thing off. That could be a nightmare. And then kind of pry it again. Looks like we're making progress. Keep on working on that. Try to get that stupid brake pad in the back out. Okay, here's something I found. This might help a little bit. Sticking one screwdriver in here to hold it out. And then I have another screwdriver in this tab back here. I can kind of pry it back and forth. Up. And look at that. There's our brake. It's still got a little bit of pad on it. I think the rotors are probably still good enough, and it's such a pain in the ass getting these bolts off after they get frozen on. So maybe we will just not change the rotors right now. There's the old pads, and I got a box of new pads here. Oh, wait. Those are the old pads. Here's a new brake pad right here. Okay. Let's see if we can stick that baby back on and be done with this, so we can enjoy our Memorial Day. I mean, after all, who wants to spend all day working on cars, right? Somebody other fun things to do. Okay, let's take another look in here. So here's the clips that were holding that brake thing on the top and the bottom. I'm not really seeing anything obvious that I could have done to make it easier to pry that thing out. Okay, so here we go. We have our brand new brake pad. And you want to be careful not to get grease or anything on the inside of that, because that is and you want that to stop the car. So this is interesting. This is the wrong side, it looks like. Okay. We will get the other one. How about that? Okay, here we go. Here's the right side. See, it's curved the right way. It has that little tab thing on the top. So we'll stick her down in here. Try to get. Oh yeah, so the clippy things are going to be a pain sticking it on. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so let's take a look. The other side here. It looks like I may have to persuade it a little bit on the bottom. So I've jimmied the top in, and we'll try to get it into those clips and get it fastened into place. Okay, there we go. It looks like that thing is in place now. Look at that. There's a brake pad, and let's leave the other brake pad. This up, clips onto this thing on the front. Make sure I got the right one with that too. Okay, and so here's the top ones and the front ones, and I'm not really seeing any difference. They look identical as far as I can tell. There's no markings on the distinguishing left or right markings on the front or the back. The part numbers are exactly the same, and the clips look identical too, so guess we'll choose one and stick it on and see how it works. Okay. So with this one, it kind of goes onto this thing. You got these clippy things that hold it on. Oh, you know what? But we do want to have it curve the same way that the tire curves, right? Else it could be a problem there. So I guess we'll stick this one back on the same way we pulled the other one off. Okay. That looks like. Okay, he's popped into place. And, oh, you know what? I kind of forgot something. I think we need to depress the cylinder a little bit before we stick this guy on. So let's do that. Okay, here's a good way we can depress the cylinder in there. I don't know if you can see that. There's this cylinder that pushes the brakes, and it needs to be pushed back down. Take our handy dandy little C-clamp and stick it in there and tighten it up. Try to force that cylinder back down. It's a hydraulic cylinder, so it wants to press really hard. Maybe if I do it this way, this would work a little bit better. Stick the screw thing down the hole so I can tighten her up. There we go. Now we can press really hard on that cylinder. See that? Press that cylinder back inside. So we can, because the brakes got bigger again, they get smaller when you wear them down. That cylinder keeps on coming in. So you push it in. That'll fit over the bigger brake pads. Okay. And there, I think we pushed it in about as far as we can push it. We can take our C-clamp off here. And then we'll put our front side brake pad back on this guy. Do that. Okay. Here's our front brake pad here with the clippy things. And make sure we put it in so it's facing the same way as the wheel rotation, the curvature, I should say. We'll get our little clips back on here. Force him back into place. Oops. Oh gosh. And put this guy back on. Yep. The brake pads. Looks like that cylinder needs to go back in just a little bit more. Okay, so we'll push that cylinder in a little bit more, and hopefully this thing will slide back over. Okay, after using the C-clamp to press those things in, that piston in a little bit more, looks like the caliper slides down over where we want it to go. Okay, we'll get it lined up with this little nut thing down there, and I spent a while cleaning out the threads on this bad boy here, so I think he's ready to go back in. Okay, so we'll put that guy back in, and maybe he needs to be greased up a little bit more. Put some WD-40 on him, maybe some oil automotive grease, and we'll put him in, tighten him up, and start on the next side. Okay, so now we have our 6-pointed ratchet, and let's see, we want to, usually they're in the wrong position because we just got through taking the bolt out. So clockwise closes righty-tighty, right? Looks like it happens to be in the right position. And it goes into this nut here. So we need to stick some kind of wrench on the back side of it. And let's Oh, I do have it in the wrong way. No, I don't. Okay. So let's tighten things up. And we can get this job done. Move on to the next side. As you should always replace these brakes in pairs, or the car will pull off to one side. One brake is a lot tighter than the other. You don't really want that. That'd be annoying. Okay. I want to make sure these bolts are good and tight too, because you don't want them falling out while you're driving around. Having a car without brakes is a real dangerous thing. In fact, if you change the brakes yourself, you need to be responsible for the brakes yourself, because these are a safety item, and if the car doesn't stop, it is big trouble for everybody involved. So anyway, I hope this helps, and it's Dr. James. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we go. This side came apart so much easier. So, anyway, here's the new brake pads and brakes on our Honda Insight 2001. Okay? It's Dr. James, and thanks for watching.